Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this evening's introduction into Crowd1. And it's all happening at the moment. So the cry for us, from us went out last night to say that get all the existing members on here so that we can show you what's happening. You really need to stay in touch with your business right now because this is about to explode. The hand grenade spin, so to speak, has been pulled. And when this thing is going to go, it's going to go in a big way. So for most of us that have joined the business quite a while ago, 2.5 years ago, in fact, it started in South Africa. It's now running for 3 years. And the bottom line is a lot of us have been waiting a long time for what's busy happening as we speak. And it's a pleasure for me. My name is Derek to share this with you tonight and hopefully shed a bit of light on everything that's happening. Now, on the screen, you'll see a lot of buzzwords: play to earn, metaverse, NFTs, decentralization, blockchains, crypto, you name it. So hopefully after tonight, you'll feel a little bit more comfortable with all of this. We just heard there from Jens, the technical director of Crowd1, but literally breaking it down to the basics. What is the blockchain? Where does it all fit in? What is an NFT? What is the purpose of it? I'm going to show you how to earn from that. And all of that gets added to what Crowd1 as a marketing company is already offering you. So yes, welcome to Wet Johannesburg. Let's give this thing some momentum. So let's start off with all of you are obviously into the new year already, but the big question is, are you ready for what's lying ahead of you this year? And speaking from an economic sense of the word. And if you think you are, I hope you are, because are you really sure that you're waiting or are you ready for what's waiting in the wings for us? Because I tell you what, if you thought last year was tough, I've got news for you. This year, I think we're going to bleed. The middle class is busy bleeding dry, so to speak. And if you look at everything happening around us, from the ESCOMs to food prices to petrol prices to the GDP to everything is just going up. But when I look around me, normal economy is failing us left, right, and center. So while this disaster plays itself out, not just in South Africa, but in every country around the world, not to be a soothsayer or a prophet of doom, but this is the reality of most economies around the world after this whole COVID fiasco. Then, in spite of all this negativity and almost no hope disaster from a financial point of view, on the flip side of the coin, this is what happens every single day around the world. Now, you heard the names NFTs and stuff before. Now, an NFT is a non fungible token, like you've heard, which is simply, it means it's a unique thing. So if I look at this little picture here of this yacht, as ugly as it is, in my opinion, but quite frankly, my opinion is irrelevant, and quite frankly, so is yours. So regardless whether a grade one child drew this picture or not, whoever drew this picture sold it for 650,000 US dollars as a non-fungible token. In other words, it's the only picture like this that exists. There's not a copy or anything like that. Jens explained it very nicely. An NFT is something that's unique. So if I give you a rand, I don't care if you give me the same rand back when you give it back at the end of the month or whatever, as long as you give me a rand. But when I give you the Mona Lisa, the real Mona Lisa, you better give me the real one back. Otherwise, I'm going to come for you. Now, that's the value of something unique. Now, here's our friend old Justin Bieber. I know he's got a lot of money, but this to me just makes no sense. But like I've said, what I think, my opinion, is irrelevant. Everybody's opinions are relevant because he hauled out $1.29 million for this picture of this, they call it the board ape. Now, if you think that's crazy, look at top here. People are buying digital land. Land, listen carefully, that doesn't really exist. It's in a virtual world. I'm going to come back to that in a couple of slides. But when they start spending $2.4 million on land that doesn't exist, it's in what's called the hyperspace or the hyperverse or the metaverse or the online business, pure online businesses. It's simply the internet. When they start spending that kind of money, and we look at normal economies around us, normal jobs, industries, market sectors that have basically brought us all to where we are today, and these market sectors are failing left, right, and center. You want to see the real economy? Drive down Jan Smuts Avenue on the weekend when you've got nothing to do. You will be surprised to see any business still left standing when you start hitting Rosebank, Dunkeld, all of those places close to Johannesburg. Every single building has got for sale or to let in front of it. But look at the kind of money the people are blowing on this weird stuff. For now, it might be weird, but I tell you what, Crowd1 gives you and me the vehicle to start tapping into this kind of industry, which is literally a world first. People like Facebook, who have changed their name to Meta, by the by, about 8 months after we already had Meta wallets, they only woke up. And the point is, they, between them and Microsoft, they still jotting for should they go for hardware, should they go for software, should they go for hardware and software to tap into this whole metaverse universe and to try and earn from it. So, Facebook have made some very cool 3D goggles that you can put on your face and start having 3D meetings, like Microsoft, for instance, where people don't actually have to travel in a car or go to a boardroom anymore. You put on your 3D glasses, sometimes even your mobile phone, and you can start engaging like you're actually sitting in a boardroom. And you can start doing things in a virtual world, like page through documents and access things and show whatever graphs and whatever else you want to show, videos and what have you, and make it all interactive for everybody in the meeting. So they all still fighting to get their respective solutions and pricing and whatever else sorted, and they don't even know how to build it at the moment. But on the flip side of the coin, Crowd1, through people like Mixter and Planet IX, have already got wallets that people have already engaged in, and the people are already making money out of that old metaverse environment. Now, even the clothing manufacturers are jumping in here. Adidas have so far earned $23 million from this ape. They call him the cool ape. I don't know what's this thing with the apes, but this is called the cool ape. And there you can see he wears his Adidas top. Now, $23 million, tell you what, that's not money to smirk at. Then this whole thing around digital art. All I can tell you, little pictures like this, once again, the ape characters, most of these pictures are too large to download. So you can't download it and print it and put it on your wall like a normal painting or whatever. But folks, this is a 22 billion US dollar market already. Whether you or I believe this is going to work or not, does that sound familiar? When the internet started, everybody thought it was for military use. They all said in a normal business world it won't last 6 months. Then you got people like Jeff Bezos, who basically started Amazon. When they started up, everybody told him it's a scam, it's a scheme, it's a Ponzi, it will never work. Does the tune sound familiar? 2.5 years ago, actually 3 years ago now, another company like that started up called Crowd1. Everybody laughed us off, wrote us off in 6 months. We won't exist. It's been 3 years. Some MLM companies have been around for an awful long time, 80 years, in fact. Still can't get past 4 million people. We've got 45 million people. We've passed, over that 80-year period, companies from a total revenue earned, like they're looking for parking. Out of the 5,500 MLMs, last year we ended up in the 41st position with $750 million in the bank. Not bad for somebody that's 3 years old. So if anybody questions you whether this whole environment is working or not, quite frankly, the opinions don't even count because it's working already with or without you. Now, if this is happening in this metaverse environment based on the fact that people are hunting these NFTs and are willing to spend this kind of money on NFTs, which are all these little characters, imagine what happens when you combine these NFT tokens and pictures with the gaming world. Now, gaming, just look at the little slice here at the bottom. They expect the gaming world next year, 2023, to be a $200 billion industry. My personal opinion, I think it's actually going to pass this like it's non-existent, because you see, this little statement was placed out there before COVID started. Now, COVID, as you know, took gaming to levels that's never ever been before. I think mostly from a boredom perspective. People sitting in lockdown, nothing else to do but stick their phones right onto their noses, play games the whole day. But when youngsters 16 years old in 2019 already from Fortnite were making this kind of money, while real sportsmen couldn't match that. When games that are literally that was launched in 2013, the game Grand Theft Auto, if that could make $815 million in 24 hours, folks, then these figures here, I'm sad to say, are underestimated, in my opinion, by a country mile. So, how do we get all this together? How do we benefit from this? Now, while economies are falling apart and literally all of our In our own homes, our little microeconomies are taking strain. We've got a whole bunch of matrics from last year now sitting twiddling their thumbs because sadly all their plans have just disappeared like vapor in front of the sun because mom and dad went through two very, very tough financial years, hanging on their fingernails financially in most households just to put bread on the table. Never mind to pay for those matrics studies. And some of those matrics don't even have money for data at the moment. Sitting there, don't know what to do next, what's going to happen, worrying whether mom and dad's still going to have a house because the bond is behind, car payments are behind. Folks, every single day, over 3 billion mobile phone users out of the over 5 billion on the planet. No encouragement needed. They engage in gaming, traveling, entertainment, trading, online buying, selling, e-commerce, you name it, even gambling. With, like I said, with no encouragement required. In your own household, either your kids or your grandkids or whoever else engage in these games, they will take your last earned money and won't buy food with it because for them, data is more important to play games. Does that sound familiar? Your hard earned cash are leaving your wallet for your kids to play games. So while this is going on, in spite of the economies around the world crumbling, folks, if this is where the money is, then that's where we need to be. So, how do we get into this whole business? Well, in my opinion, the only way to zoom into this whole thing without having to take billions out of your own pocket to engage is through Crowd1. So 45 million plus people, 3 years in business. I don't think the whole pyramid Ponzi scheme, scam, whatever you wanted to call it, conversation is one to be carried on with. If you haven't woken up to the fact now that this company is doing it with or without you, you never will. Then this business, quite frankly, is not for you. But if you feel that you have to start something, whether something on the sideline as an extra income or whether it's a mainline income stream, this is it. So just for the new people for the first time listening tonight or watching tonight, what is Crowd1? Crowd1 is simply a marketing company for online companies. That's it. No voodoo, no black magic, no smoke in mirrors, no schemes and scams. Currently, we're the world's biggest, if you want, affiliate or influencer marketing company. The best way to describe what we do, if you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player, probably everybody on the planet either loves him or hates him. That's the two sides. You love him if you like the teams he plays for, you hate him if he plays against your team. But he's the world's biggest influencer marketer. But there's a couple of flaws in that whole business presentation of his. Why? Because he's only one person, can hardly speak English. Even if he himself buys the product that he's marketing, he can only buy so much. In spite of the millions he has, why would he buy millions of a can of Coke or a can of Pepsi or whatever? And that's if you can convince him to do the ad for you. You better take out billions because that's what he's going to charge you. And the point is for him to put his name behind the product, that product better be solid. Why is Crowd1 better than him? Well, when you've got 45 million people as buying power, as already possible customers, if we have to market that same product, whatever the product is, I don't think the people who manufacture those products have got enough capacity in no matter how big their factories are. Take, for instance, if 45 million people had to buy 1 2 liter Coke every day, oopsie, suddenly Coke, who believe they're beyond marketing, don't have enough factories to produce that. It's as simple as that. That's what you call a marketing company, not just doing marketing in every language around the world in over 200 countries, but also having the buying power second to none. And it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You're either part of the crowd, like we said, or you're not, but the benefits smack you in the face. No one else has ever achieved this. Now, the marketing we do, affiliate marketing or influencer marketing, that's basically what you become. We play only in the gig economy, or in other words, in the internet, or what's now called the buzzword, the metaverse. That's all the same thing. That's the brilliance of Crowd1. Because we deal only with virtual products, products that play in this whole gaming environment, products that play in the online gambling environment. If that's for you, you don't have to engage in that if you don't want to. You can opt out of the gambling side. People that do online bookings for traveling, things like that, that's where it all comes to play. The people are doing it anyway, with or without you or me. There's no constraints of manufacturing and shipping and quality and customers not paying you, all of the normal nonsense that we deal with in our daily lives. None of that. That's why Crowd1 can share 40% of all profits generated with me and you. These, if you want, online affiliate marketers. So that's us, the Crowd. This is the company that makes it all happen, ICT, Impact Crowd Technologies. They provide the software that can live on a normal phone or on your PC that you access through the internet, pure internet company, hello. And the long and short is, this is where all the admin takes place, where the commissions get paid out, where you and your company and the people below you interact, and all the information is shared and managed from. Now, the companies who we take to market under this heading of Verdello, that's where we find these gaming companies like Mixter and Planet IX, which we're going to focus on tonight. There's also other industries. So the bottom line is, if you're thinking of starting a business or starting something that can generate some income for you, there's a couple of fundamentals you need to look at. First of all, what's this whole thing going to cost me to get in? Secondly, how soon can I be profitable? Can I make money, and how soon can I make it? And how simple is it to make it? Is this business easily duplicatable? Well, that one I think have already been answered. If 45 million people in over 200 countries around the world have joined this thing already in only 3 years, we're typically doing 1 million people at the moment in less than a month. There were crazy times as the different products launch from these companies over here, where we did 1 million people during lockdown every 2 to 3 days. I think it's duplicatable. But there's something really special you need to look at if it's a business that you want to start. And that something special is there an attraction beyond just money, beyond just profits? Now, in my case, and I'm sure in your case, where kids are around that play games, that will take your last earned money, not to buy food, but to literally get themselves in a position where they can play even more games by spending your money on things like data or telephones or even on gaming consoles at the moment. That's something really, really special. So what is this company called Mixter? Mixter, the holding company, is a company called Emerge Gaming. And those of you that logged on just before we started would have seen this little video. MTN's marketing launch video. On the back of their 5G network, they've signed 2 contracts with Emerge Gaming, which is Mixter. Mixter is the marketing brand. And this is the CEO, South African guy by the name of Greg Stevens, who lives in Cape Town. Although the company, listen carefully, is a listed company on the Australian stock exchange. Now, a year or so ago, they were 36,000 people without Crowd1's marketing skills. Through last year, lockdown most places around the world, Crowd1's, first of all, buying power, people who ourselves play games, and also people who then market it to people like their neighbors, their friends, their cousins, their aunties, their uncles, you name it. Suddenly, within a year, they went to over 2 million people currently in over 200 countries, more than 38 million games played. So if you want to find out if Crowd1's marketing skills is working, why don't we ask this guy? Currently, you can't wipe the smile off his face. You heard him saying in a little video with his interview of what's coming, he said he's got to share a bit of love with the Crowd1 members because his company has never done any better than it's doing at the moment, thanks to our affiliate marketing. Now, guys, there's a couple of things happening in the gaming environment specifically, which I want to focus on tonight, that you've got to be aware of. Because if you're a Crowd1 member, by default, you can earn from this industry where nobody else has got an opportunity to earn from it unless you start your own gaming company. Good luck with that one, competing with the big guys. But if all these people that you see, and this is not even all of them, this is just some of the more prominent names, are already sponsoring some of the prizes and the products and the vouchers and things like that. People like these guys, this is some of the tournament winnings and stuff that you can lay your hands on, from PCs to games, ironically, to things like Xboxes and PlayStations, although we're competing with them head on. And this is the change that's busy happening. So these slides that you see here was taken from my cell phone during the, excuse me, the live event that was held in November in Dubai last year. Hence, you can see some of the people in the crowd. Now, the little green line over here, that's the growth path expected from normal gaming industry. This pink path over here, and by the by, these characters are called wisps. So it's little characters that you can make up to look like whatever you want to make them look. They become your companions in some of these games. But besides the point, this pink line is the expected growth of Mixter over the next couple of months. So Mixter already is live with their social part, their retro games, those games we played in the 80s in the corner cafes. You can go play them already. And Mixter Live has got over 140 games that you can play at the moment. I call them the push and play games. So you don't need a lot of thinking and strategy. You just got to get the solitaire going, all the different types of solitaire, or ride your little boat without crashing. So it's just more around stamina and things like that. But it's not like the kids are calling it. It's not the real games. However, you can play more than 140 games and win some cool prizes. Now, Mixter Plus is what's happening at the moment, and this is going to blow you out of your socks. For the first time, because of the 5G capability of the mobile phone networks, it's finally fast enough so that you can engage the proper games, like the kids call them, the AAA games. Now, AAA simply means the fastest graphics. You can play in real time against your friends and family members all over the world. And you can actually play in such a real time that you can compete in tournaments, real live international tournaments. Needless to say, you can obviously then do esports, electronic sports. Now, those of you who don't know esports, just go to your DSTV sports channels. You'll see that there's super sport channels dedicated to gaming events happening around the world. Now, if you think of the MotoGP or Formula One or whatever, like they crown the real guys, they also crown the gaming guys. They play in tournaments, you win the same, let's say, different Grand Prix or whatever, for example, and ultimately a world champion gets crowned. There's only one little issue. The gaming world champions or tournament champions are making money that the real guys can't even dream of. That's how big this has become. If you're doubting me, these three gaming companies, Skills, Playtika, and Axie, this is their expected potential income estimated for this year. You'll notice that it's counted in billions of dollars, not in millions anymore. Now, with that growth expected, that's why Jens, the technical guy, was explaining they've increased the capacity of Crowd1's system. Now, if anybody doubts that Crowd1 is a real company or they're brave enough, I don't care how successful your rich cousin there in Sandton in the top square mile of business in Africa is. I don't care if his penthouse office is the biggest office in the whole square mile of Sandton. He cannot compete with what Crowd1 has already got in place. So if you're an existing Crowd1 member, tap yourself on the back for taking the step to be a part of this company. How can I say this with so much confidence? Well, not even NASA. There's no South African bank that has got 45 million members. NASA is only predominantly in the US with a couple of sites around the world for monitoring space. We're in over 200 countries with over 45 million members. It's almost the entire South African population. And as you know, there's not a single bank in South Africa that's got the whole population. So our system is already outperforming all of that. Now, if you think that's impressive, never thought about it like that. Should 45 million people potentially log in at the same time, the system must be able to take it and still keep standing up, not fall over. Now, you'll be happy to know that Crowd1, whatever they've had before, they've improved that system performance by 3,000%. You got to put this in perspective, guys. You want to upgrade your home laptop or your home desktop PC? Imagine just taking that PC and increasing the memory and the speed by 3,000%. Papa, you better have big money, because suddenly you start talking server rooms, terabyte drives by the dozens. That's what we're talking about here. Now imagine what Crowd1's system looks like. All in anticipation for these AAA games that you see here. Games like FIFA, games like Destiny, games like Doom, etc., etc., etc. One by one, they'll come on board. Now, why is this so significant? Because suddenly your PlayStation, folks, and your Xbox that your kid was driving you crazy for, 10,000 Rand a device and about 1,000 Rand a game. Oopsie. That's a very limiting factor of the pricing. That's why it's not in every household. Suddenly, they are becoming obsolete. Yes, some people will still prefer a gaming console, but you'll start placing your 5G phone in that gaming console. Or you'll just use the phone itself as the gaming console. It's busy happening as we speak. The world of games will never, ever be the same again. And you and I are once again the pioneers in this whole thing, thanks to Crowd1. We are doing the marketing for this, for Mixter. Now, at the moment, Mixter is the second largest gaming company doing what they're doing. And this is actually pretty hard saw. As impressive as it is that we've taken Mixter from 36,000 people to 2 million, it's actually pretty pathetic. Sorry for the harsh words, but it's pathetic because all 45 million Crowd1 members received a 1 year, €69 gaming voucher from Mixter for free just by signing up. If you sign up now, you also get one for free. All we have to do is register. Now, all of us are thinking where to get the next Crowd1 member from. While right now, last year's matrics are sitting at home, don't know where they're going to earn money from, don't know how they're going to pay for studies, haven't even got money for data or to play games, still depending on mom and dad, although they finish the school. Folks, if there's anybody on this planet who knows how to play games, it's those 18-year-olds. And there's a second aspect to it. They know social media like you and I can only dream. At this event last year, my eyes went open like never before. That's why you get so excited when you go to Dubai, to Crowd1's offices and all this excitement and the people running around. Because half of this hall, at least half of the hall, were people between 18 years to 20 years old from the Philippines, China, Vietnam, India, South Korea, you name it. When the doors opened up to this hall, they don't walk in. They've got, excuse the straightforwardness, they've got zero business credibility. 18 years old, straight out of school, when they open the doors, they run and they jump over the tables and the chairs, and fight for seats, and you name it. While obviously the more mature people walk in and get a proper place to sit down, etc. Now, these kids, this was invitation only, director level upwards. When it was time for recognition to go onto the stage here where these screenshots were taken from, none of them got up when they handed out the certificates to the new director ones. None of them stood up for Director 2. Not one stood up for Director 3. They only started going onto the stage from president level 1-star upwards. People between 18 to 20, male and female, from all walks of life, all over the world. Now, sitting next to one of these guys from Vietnam, I was watching him. He does something on his social media, sends out these invitation links to people he has no idea who he's sending them to, on Spotify and on Twitter and on Facebook. Next moment, he gets a WhatsApp with some information. He signs someone up. He sends them a presentation to watch over one of the social media platforms. Next thing, this guy's got 4 people signed up, earning his fear of loss bonus. This guy's sitting in this meeting. He's never even seen those people. They're signing them up like no business, putting ears on us, the Crowd1 existing members that have been in the business literally for 3 years, 2.5 years for some of us here, 3 years for the people who started it. Some of us aren't even on those levels yet. We still want to have physical meetings. I still want to look you in the eye and explain this to you, that this is not a scam and a scheme, and impress you with all the figures. Those guys are speaking on social media to people they've never met in countries that didn't exist. And their businesses are absolutely exploding. And here we sit, South Africans, people out of matric, no income. It's almost your duty to get these people signed up, guys, to start putting an income back into those households who need it most. And you know who those households are. Some of us are in those same positions because of our normal industries, not that have let us down, but because of all the jazz that's happening in the world around this COVID gemors. So, folks, if I can engage in these games from nothing more than my mobile phone, instead are from an Xbox or a PlayStation. Can you imagine when these AAA games start taking off, what the participation is going to become for cloud hosted, pay to play engagement? Nothing needed more than a mobile phone, which simply means I don't have to sit in mom and dad's lounge anymore in a Wi-Fi environment on a fiber backbone to have a fast enough speed to compete in these AAA games. That means I can sit at a bus stop. I can sit in the bus, in the taxi, on the train, even in a plane where there's Wi-Fi, and I can be playing my AAA games. If you thought there's a lot of people playing games now, you haven't seen anything yet. We're sitting at the forefront of what's happening around the world. But by Christmas this year, if you ask your kid, because they are way more advanced in knowing how the games work and what it takes to play a game than you and I can ever dream of. You ask your kid this Christmas, would you like an Xbox or a PlayStation or a 5G mobile phone? Which one do you think he's going to take? I can tell you what, in Africa, every single one would go for the phone. The PlayStations, Xboxes would suddenly sit and gather dust. Nobody would even want them secondhand. So, folks, we are sitting right at the beginning of this. Now, this whole thing, the little characters that you play these games with, whether they call these wisps or whether it's your little avatar, which is simply the little monkey like your soldier that you shoot other people with, or the character that you play the game with. Mixter has minted more than 1 million of these NFTs, which you and I can buy. It's a character unique. There's only one of them that can only belong to you, nobody else. But that doesn't stop people like those Justin Biebers there in the beginning, or anybody else for that matter, who's willing to give you real money, dollars, Bitcoin, euros, rands, whatever you like, for that character of yours. So all I can tell you is pick your characters wisely. And the bottom line is you can start trading from a virtual world into real money. If people is willing to pay 2 million rand for a piece of land that don't exist, that's the entire existence of the game Planet IX, which I'm going to show you now. But besides Crowd1, Mixter is gone, and they've signed up in 150 countries so far, 27 brand partners. You saw some of those brands for the sponsorships, for tournaments, for redemption of rewards. Yes, listen carefully, not just credits, but rewards. They've minted more than 1 million of these NFTs. In other words, they're already unique. Nobody else can tamper there. We just got to lay our hands on them. They've gone with a partnership with a company called Polygon for these wisps. There are millions of them that have been minted already. So Mixed Plus is going to change the face of gaming like you and I have no idea. Basically, everything I've told you is listed on the left here. But here's the thing I want you to take note of. What Facebook did for the internet, the web version 2, in terms of traffic and engagement, advertising, you name it. The gaming metaverse is going to do for the internet version 3. Now, if you think this is a pie in the sky and we all hope it will get there, I've got news for you. It's literally already knocking on a $1 trillion industry. That's why I said in the beginning, they still reckon by next year, 2023, it's going to be a $200 billion industry. It's already heading for $1 trillion US industry. Why do you think Facebook changed their name to Meta so quickly? And between them and Microsoft, they're still fighting and carrying on, buying VR companies, virtual reality companies like Altspace, etc., paying millions and billions of dollars for these companies. Everyone trying his own little uniqueness and trying to lock customers into them so they can make money from them. Here, you and I sit to appreciate what we've got in our hands, which I call liquid gold. To join this company is about 2,000 Rand once off. That's it. And I've got access to all of this business possibilities, probabilities, statistics. I can earn from every gaming industry that you can think of, not just one of them. So even if you had money to engage in a global gaming industry, good luck with your one single company going to compete with people like the Facebook or now Meta, with people like Microsoft, etc. All these different platforms that are trying to get their own little slice of the pie. We've got the slice of the entire pie called marketing, which the other guys haven't even thought of. Now, if this is $1 trillion industry, if you look at what Crowd1 together with Mixter have put in place, it's already operational, guys. They've upgraded that system, like I said, by 3,000%. Just to give you an idea what that means. That means we can run all 45 million people's accounts from over 200 countries in the world, engage in all the supplying companies, not just the gaming companies, but for instance, Life Trends, the traveling company, the online gambling companies like the lottos, the e-commerce wallet that's coming, that's busy rolling out literally as we speak. Um, the entertainment industry is still joining this year, as well as the communications environment. All of those different suppliers can run through the same system, and we can run the entire thing from the random access memory. In other words, we don't even need the hard drives to run the whole thing. You still want to compare who's got the best system in the world? You, for $2,000, you've got this in your hands. This is insane. Now, here's the game changer. Instead of buying PlayStations and Xboxes and physical games that lies there on your cupboard like your old CDs, you never ever play them, sitting there under 3 inches of dust. All the gaming world is now changing to cloud hosted. In other words, in the internet on the cell phone networks. They host this in the cloud. And if you want to play a game, well, you got to get the payment done, either your monthly, 6 monthly, or annual subscription. Or if you're a public member, you can pay just for that session. And they will happily push that game down to your device. Now, here's the thing, guys. If you know somebody that's just finished matric, they don't play games by themselves, do they? They play against each other. They play against people all over the world, friends, family, enemies, you name it. They all engage in gaming. So imagine you've got a few of these matrics in your business, and they start inviting each other to start playing these games. Whether they want to join Crowd1 as a business or not is irrelevant. If you want to pay the game, you're gonna play. If you want to play the game, you're gonna pay. When that payment happens, because of your and my introduction, that's where we earn the sales bonuses. Now, this is the penny that's got to drop tonight. So far, all the Crowd1 members, and some of us have made good money. Some of us haven't earned anything yet because pretty much we haven't done anything yet, haven't had a chance to engage or haven't engaged yet. But the point is, the good news, tap yourself on the back, you're in. When these kids start inviting each other to play the games, whether they or mom and dad is not interested or can't afford to join Crowd1, the only way you're going to play the game is to pay for it. That counts for you and me as a sales bonus if you did the introduction. Now, what would you prefer? Getting a once-off bonus for signing someone up, in spite of it being fantastic money because it's euros? Or would you rather like a person in the business or not to pay monthly or weekly or per game continuously annuity income till the end of time as the games come and go and the flavors of the month expire and become new and etc. etc. I prefer to rather make a little bit of money continuously forever than a once-off sign-up bonus. Now, the good news is we're getting all of the bonuses in Crowd1. But even if it's just the public that are playing who don't want to know anything about Crowd1, well, they're still going to pay to play. That's where the sale drops. If you want to earn a profit, somewhere a sale must happen. And once the sale happens, 40% to 50% profit share gets shared with you and me because we don't have factories. We don't have to pay people in the factories. It's all virtual. The metaverse or the internet, whatever you want to call it, those are just buzzwords. The point is we're earning an annuity income from a possible market of over 3 billion people who do this every day. So the people who tell me that we've reached saturation point, you have, sorry to say, but your ignorance and your arrogance for not taking the time to understand this is sadly letting you down. We are sitting with liquid gold. I call it liquid gold because at the moment it's dripping through our fingers. It's time to solidify that gold and bring it back to this country so we can pick up this country from its knees, put it on its feet again. Now, from tokenization, which is simply part of this whole NFT thing, the tokens which get locked down in the blockchain from a security perspective, from tokenization through beta launches. What can you possibly want better than 45 million people to test your games and your software and things with? That's the ultimate beta launch. Can you see the advantage of the Crowd1 crowd? Then, obviously, from an opportunity perspective, Crowd1's members will always have the internal launches first. So we'll always get the first slice of the cake. And then it will open to the public, those people who just can't see the Crowd1 business case. They'll quickly come around if they notice that they are paying and all the Crowd1 people are smiling every time they play a game. Very soon they'll ask you, how do you make money when I'm paying? That's when the door goes open to say, have you heard of Crowd1? Like I said, all of this has already been minted. Now, like Planet IX is currently the world's fastest growing strategy game, thanks to Crowd1 once again. The next strategy game to be launched, this time by Mixter, is called Star Alliance. And that's literally, we are weeks away from this. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. Now, folks, Mixter have not just got credits, but they're also bringing around rewards. So here's a little email that I received because I won 4 tournaments last year for these little push and play games. Nothing to brag about, but the point is, here they told me that I've already earned and I've already spent the credits. But complementing the credits are now rewards. Now, if anybody ever tells you again Crowd1 doesn't have products, then this is what you slap onto them. This is a little snapshot of what's waiting in the wings. Now, to my astonishment, I got a few of those rewards and I thought, let me go see what I can cash it in on. And suddenly I sat here for almost 2 weeks. The amount of products in total is over 1,000 pages of products. Just the electronic goods alone, this little category you see over here, has got 204 pages of products that you can redeem your rewards, your Mixter rewards for. And I think they're going to tie it into the loyalty points as well. But these are all the different market sectors. You can get your stoves, your lawnmowers. Here's the big thing. You can even get your airtime from every cell phone network on the globe. You can get through this, through your rewards. Can you see how the one link links into the other? In order to get your mobile phone playing games, you still need data. Now you can get your data at a reduced price on every continent on the planet. Every South African cell phone network is in there. I've checked, don't worry. I've checked. But from watches to large kitchen goods, to outdoor equipment, to automotive equipment, to baby gear, to clothing, to you name it, you'll be able, even your office automation equipment, you can get through this platform, through your Crowd1, or rather your Mixter rewards. Here you can see what it looks like. There's the different categories. So, folks, are you in the right place? I think so. Now, the other gaming part that's already live is Planet IX. So Planet IX, they can actually describe it a lot better than I can. So just quickly work with me, bear with me and work through this little video. Watch this quickly for a snapshot introduction into what is Planet IX. A lot of people still struggle with it.
Planet IX is a blockchain-based strategy.
It's now 100 by 100. So talk about virtual land turning into real money. This is the kind of thing that you can actually, sorry, just give me a second. This is the kind of thing that you can actually look forward to with this whole Planet IX concept. Why can't I do this? So just give me a second. Okay, so the long and short, Planet IX is a virtual copy of the world. The only difference is it's not 10 by 10 anymore. It's actually 100 by 100 meters, these little drops or these little pixels, for lack of a better description. So either on a Monday or a Wednesday or a Friday, you got to be with your, literally sit with your trigger finger on the mouse button, because then these, what they call beta pack drops, take place. So they pretty much take an area of the world, let's say North America today, and maybe South America tomorrow, or Wednesday, and on Friday, maybe Asia or whatever. That's like the roll of the dice in Monopoly. So, like you don't know which street you're going to land on in Monopoly, yeah, you don't know which part of the world they're releasing. So then you buy your different size packs, either a small, a medium, or a large pack, which is just more and more land. So obviously, what you're trying to do, just like in Monopoly, you want to get to all the nice businesses, or rather addresses, so that when people come around, you can obviously charge them a lot of money for it. It's a similar concept over here. So just quickly have a look at this in terms of the pack drops. Okay, so when they release these pack drops, then what you obviously want to do is get as much land as you can literally afford. You pay for that land with real Bitcoin. But when you sell that land, you also sell for real Bitcoin. So this is like Monopoly on steroids. Now, what you want to lay your hands on little pictures like this. These are landmarks all across the world. And this is actually the game with the most NFTs in at the moment that the world can offer you. There's almost 900 of these NFTs, which are literally landmarks from the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world in Dubai, to the Eiffel Tower, to the pyramids in Egypt. You saw the picture of the Taj Mahal. It's actually beautiful art pieces, electronic art pieces, and they called NFTs, like you've heard before, or landmarks. So this is what you try to get your hands on, but remember, it's also a game of chance. Now, what they do to spice things up a bit, they also have raffle tickets that they draw. Just give me 1 second. I believe we're not active anymore. Let me just refresh the screen share. What's happening here? Let me just see what's going on. Why can't I access you guys to do a screen share? Give me a second. Ah, I see. That's why everybody's hands up. Sorry, I can't see the screen that you guys are seeing. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the video or not, but let me show you the next one quickly. Sorry about that. I didn't see that going off. Give me a sec. So sometimes you got to be ready, like on a Monday around lunchtime, or a Wednesday or a Friday around lunchtime. It's not just about buying it. They're also giving some of these, it's called NFT raffles away. Now, here you really got to sit with your finger on the trigger, because when they do these little raffle drops, first come, first serve. And you almost got to be waiting for them by lunchtime to be online. So check out this quickly. Sorry, guys, for whatever reason, every time I open this up, you guys can't see my screen. Let me just see why or why not. Give me a second. Okay, I'm just going to play that one again if you guys don't mind.
For every 150, 400 and 2,500p euro voucher redeemed, you will have received raffle tickets. This is your chance to enter our raffle. By participating in our raffle drops, you will have the chance of winning landmark NFTs. These have exquisite designs and carry different productive properties depending on where on the map they are located. Most landmark are split up into several shares that are co-owned with other players in IX. This landmark, for instance, always have 7 available shares, meaning that there could be up to 7 potential owners. If some of the shares are not yet owned, the rewards generated from the landmark is split among the current players. Landmark shares can either be achieved through entering our raffles or bought directly from other players in our marketplace. Owners of landmarks receives a commission on trades. In general, more populated areas will generate more rewards.
Okay, that will give you a fair idea of how to acquire the land, so to speak, of this virtual world. Now, that all said, if you think of what I said earlier about Facebook changed their name to Meta to try and get this whole metaverse economy going. We already had a Meta wallet, a crypto wallet, before Facebook even thought of changing their names. So if you ask me, is this business going to work? Well, here's the answer. Let me see where the statistics are. Before Christmas, not now. So in other words, 2 months ago, when Planet IX literally just launched, firstly for Crowd1 members, and secondly, it started just before Christmas. It went to the public so that the public could engage. In literally a heartbeat, 540,000 users, one-time shoe shine. So once again, if you think, does this whole marketing, affiliate marketing, influencer marketing approach, is it effective? Well, why don't we ask the CEO of Planet IX? Once again, you can't wipe the smile of his face either. Because how else was he going to get 540,000 users, over 230,000 wallets already created? In other words, that's for the guys who already want to trade. And with over 333 million picks, those little blocks sold across the entire space. Now, this is actually what the tokens look like, or the NFTs look like, all these landmarks. So it's a beautiful electronic piece of art. But the point is, who knows what you can sell one of these things for one of these days, considering what I showed you in the beginning. Now, when you start getting real companies that you see on the right-hand side here, each one focusing on a different aspect of what's going on in the real world versus this virtual world. So the real companies in our real world are starting to see the value of doing their marketing within these games. Stick with me here. But it's just a matter of time when you take your little monkey in one of the shooting games and you'll be able to dress him maybe with a Converse pair of tackies, maybe with a Adidas shirt, maybe with a Nike cap. And then these companies who are now being exposed in real time, not some billboard sitting next to the road costing millions, absolutely worthless in my opinion. Not one of you who traveled on the road today can remember what's written on any billboard. You know it's a billboard about that company, but you can't remember what they're trying to say there, whatever. There's just no time to watch it. You're too busy. But if 3 billion people around the globe play these games every day, with or without my opinion, and suddenly the companies can benefit from their marketing within the game. Now that's why these boys are already on board. Now take this waste company as an example. Suddenly inside a game, you can now buy one of these things called a harvester drone. Now, everything that happens in this game called Planet IX has got an effect on the real world you and I live in. Thanks to those people who've already signed up and who've already started playing, More than 300,000 trees have been planted in the real world. 100,000 in Ghana, 100,000 in India, and the balance in the Philippines. So this is a very, very clever way for those companies to reach their social commitment. If you think about it, green carbon credits, a better earth, a better real earth to live on. One of the projects is to clean up India. India is a very dirty place because of the sheer amount of people over there and no waste management. So that company on the previous page, these guys over here, for them to benefit out of this, in the game you buy one of these harvester drones, and this thing gets programmed to start cleaning up the earth. But the money this thing generates in the game, some of that money gets donated to cleaning up India as a project, cleaning up whatever else next, etc., etc. Get the people pure fresh water, sanitize the drinking water, get rid of the sewage, etc., etc. So if you look at what's happening in the game, now the newest thing they've just launched is this cargo drop. It's almost like a container full of solutions. So one harvester drone to start cleaning up, gravity grade Tiger pack. I still don't even know what that means. They haven't told us yet. You get your tokens once again, which becomes the real value that you and I can sell in the real world for whatever you can get for it. Then obviously we're all chasing these landmarks that you've just seen on the previous page. Now, the next step for Planet IX is not the planet anymore. Now we're going to the moon. If you think what Elon Musk is trying to achieve, getting people onto Mars, etc., between Starline, the Mixter strategy game, and Planet IX, the strategy game you're seeing right now, suddenly in a virtual world, these things are happening already with an effect on the real world and the real money, real income. So if you thought Crowd1's income was already interesting with 8 income streams, folks, if this is what it takes to find out where the real money is today, I don't care if you're 80 years old and you have to redo what I call our apprenticeship again, then that's what we need to do if you want to survive in today's world. Start to know what all this means. Now, what we're chasing is we're chasing whole areas. You don't just want one or two of those little blocks. You want to own a whole area. So whoever wants to buy this area from you, they're going to have to pay, boy. Simple as that. So what does all this cost me to get going? For the new people, these are the different packages you can buy into Crowd1 for a once-off payment. 2,000 Rand, 109 euro, more or less with the exchange rate, puts you in Crowd1. Gives you a year subscription to play all the games you like in the mixer. Gives you access to our training program called Minder. Gives you some travel points or vouchers if you want from Life Trends. We haven't even spoken about the travel industry tonight. It's an 8 trillion US dollar industry. And you and I can earn from it from over 2.5 million destinations. So you get some of those vouchers for free. You can also get loyalty points. Now watch the loyalty points, guys. Remember that reward shop I showed you? All I can tell you is keep your eyes and ears peeled over the next couple of weeks. Every single month, something goes live now. We've been waiting in South Africa 2.5 years to get to this point. Sadly, now that we are here, where everything goes live, what beats the hell out of me, most of us signed up on the promise that it would come and the faith that all this would happen. Now that it's happening, there's no members to be seen. I think we're 20 odd people on the call here tonight. We should have been there's 3.7 million people in South Africa in Crowd1. The question is, where are they? I don't even think they know what's going on. So for the existing members, get those guys back in the saddle. We've been waiting 2.5 years to get to this point. Now people want to tell me they want to sell their packages. Are you for real? We haven't even dusted this thing off yet. 2,000 Rand once off puts you in the business. The next package up is 6,000 Rand, 16, about 45 to 50,000. And only during this special that you see here, the Epic Special, there's also a Titanium Pro package. Now, for the existing members who want to get to a higher earning level, here's a little bit of a message for you. Just get yourselves onto the director levels, which is in the middle of the earning tables. Don't worry about getting to the ambassadors and senior presidents and presidents. That will come by default. Focus on just getting yourself through the nuisance levels in the beginning to at least director level, because then you're earning enough money that should the carpet be pulled out underneath you in a normal business world, you won't even lose a night's sleep because your income will be big enough to simply continue just with Crowd1. Or you can just focus on Crowd1 as your own income because it will be a great income. Now, here's the thing. When this epic special is on, although you pay 2,000 Rand to get in on the basic product, you actually get bumped up to the next one for free. You've just saved yourself 4,000 Rand. If you buy in on a black package for 6 grand, you'll be bumped up to the 16 grand one for free. That's a hell of a saving. When you buy the 16,000 Rand one, you'll be bumped up to the 50 grand titanium one. And when you buy that one, you'll go to an 80,000 Rand titanium pro package for free. Now, the existing members, you don't just want to get yourself up to the highest possible package, but you also want to get to the next level and the next level as fast as you can, right? Okay, so there's a couple of things you can benefit from. If you are already on these packages, you can buy out the amount of points that you need to get to the next level, either 20% of them, 30%, or 50%. Now, when I say buy out, don't take money out of your pocket. You can do it if you want, but for me, that's a sin. Start earning the commission by simply signing up people to get you to the next level and then to a higher level. Now, here's the thing. When you take this gold, titanium, or titanium pro, it's almost like when you run a 100-meter race, instead of starting at the 100-meter point, wouldn't it be nice to start at the 50-meter mark, halfway there? Now, that's the thing. For these amount of figures that you see here, you can basically boost your package, called rank booster, to as quickly as possible get through that next level with buying out half a points or 30% of the points or 20% of the points. That said, here's a thing that goes hand in hand. All the new people signing up, guys, listen carefully until the 1st of March. So there's still a week and a half left. When you sign up, remember we said you can be profitable within your first 2 weeks in the business by simply signing up 4 people on the same package as you. Now, for 2,000 Rand white package buy-in once off, if you can achieve signing up 4 family members, friends, or kids, or whatever, all 4 of them will be upgraded for free to the gold packages worth 16,000 Rand. And for you, manage to get them together in your lounge or whatever, so we can present to them. Instead of just your 2,000 Rand white package, you'll be bumped up to a titanium package worth 50 grand, while you've only paid 2,000 Rand for it. For Pete's sake, guys, if we only had these specials when we started, we would be flying by now. Plus, you get an extra gold package voucher that you can give maybe to a spouse or a kid or a mom or a dad, somebody in financial trouble. Now, gold package was 16 grand for Mahala. That alone, in my opinion, is worth it. Now, if you can do 8 packages in your first 2 weeks, not just 4, not only will you go to Titanium Pro, which is worth 80,000 Rand, and you've only paid 2,000 Rand for it. Obviously, all 8 these guys also benefit, because for 2 grand, they've gone to 16,000 Rand. But you'll get 2 gold packages to give away to people in need, in my opinion. You can give it to whoever you like. I still say handout, you'll receive it back with interest. This special is only until the 1st of March. You want a kickstart in this business, get somebody started on one of these things. So if somebody signs up, we all jump in and help those people to try and get their 4 family members and friends in. Then, where you're sitting as an existing member, you know how many points, if you look at your sign-in page, how many points you need to get to your next earning level for the monthly annuity income. That's when you hit this rank booster package. So if you only need a few points, don't waste the rank booster package. Get some people signed in and use, obviously, their points to push you on to the next level. And then you go and buy this rank booster for this money, which literally gives you half of the points for the next level already done and dusted. So if you do this thing right in the next couple of weeks or the next 2 weeks, maybe if you push hard enough, we won't just lift you by 1 earning level. We might actually take you up by 2 levels. The sooner you get to those director levels, the sooner you can earn proper income from this thing. And I mean proper income. Folks, my name is Derek. I'm going to leave you at this tonight. The bottom line is this business works with or without you or me. And the reality around the situation, if you're not in Crowd1 yet, if 45 million people, or if Crowd1 got to 45 million people without you, there's a total of about 3 billion smartphone users that engage in gaming every day. The question is, are we going to reach them with or without you? I don't think Crowd1 needs to prove to anybody anymore what they're capable of. That is done and dusted. You're either in for the ride or you're not, but you can't earn from the sideline, sadly. You have to get into this thing. If you've got no other options left, even if you didn't understand a word I was saying tonight, then get hold of one of us. Get hold of the person who got you to watch this tonight. It's so simple to join this business. 2,000 and once off puts you in the thing. Then it can't be a pyramid scheme, guys. Long and short, all they need to sign you up are your names, your surname, your email address, your street address, your not even your ID number, just your date of birth and your telephone number. Voila, 2,000 rand, you're in this business. So if from where I'm sitting, this is a no-brainer. The rest of the year is going to be launch after launch after launch after launch. Don't worry about the terminology. Don't worry if you don't know what an NFT or a WISP or whatever it is the metaverse is. You'll get to know it. Richard Branson is saying, if you don't understand it, don't worry. Just get in it. You'll sort the technical stuff out as you go along. But the point is, this is an opportunity, in my opinion, that you and I will never see again. There's simply no other business with the capability of what's been put together here over a global scale. So the point is, are you joining us? Yes or no? And if it's yes, don't join and just sit back. Use all these bonuses and specials to propel yourself, because with that propulsion, there comes income, there comes credibility, there comes belief. And if you can show your friends and family members what this thing can do for you, obviously it can do it for anybody. Success breeds success. My name's Derek. Thank you for your time. One last thing I want to mention. Next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday, there's going to be a gaming event as well as a cage fighting event at the casino called the Carousel, which is on the way to Bella Bella, the old Warmbaas, next to the Pretoria Warmbaas Highway. Now, we would like for you guys, we're going to have a little table there with Crowd1 being the part and parcel of the whole gaming thing. So, but we want support. We want you guys to come along. We'll have a little table there with presentations running and just enjoying the vibe. Please come and support those cage fighters. Come and support the gamers. They're going to have their own tournament there playing for prizes. And this is going to become an end of the month, monthly event starting the next Saturday for the first time. So if you want people to have a bit of credibility, if you've got a prospect, then come along there. You've got to pay at the door. I stand to be corrected. I think it's about 150 Rand to 200 Rand entrance. But come and enjoy the day there. Come and look at all of this. It beats the hell out of sitting at home anyway. So get out a little bit, but get out for the right cause. Come and introduce your people to us. They can ask us questions. They can start experiencing the whole thing and this whole vibe around the gaming side. You can see that without Crowd1, the gaming tournaments are happening. So if you want to get into this industry, you've got to know the industry, and that will be an excellent time to be exposed to how these guys play games, what prize money they get, etc., and what the attraction is, especially if you don't understand it. This is part of your research. If you do understand it and it's your business, start engaging in your business like you would go to normal business seminars and events and exhibitions, etc. It's exactly the same thing, guys. If gaming becomes your thing, your income, then you obviously need to do your homework and you need to participate and you need to take part, not just in your own little business, but also in the whole industry as a total solution. So please come and visit us there, or alternatively, you can buy the tickets through us as well. I'll put you in touch with a lady that does that, and she can sort you out. So come and enjoy the weekend. Thank you for your time.